Two Noobs F1 presents two noobs on a mission to entertain and to get to 100,000 subscribers. Make sure you keep watching Two Noobs F1 and don't forget to like and subscribe.
Okay. Wow.
Whoa.
Wow. Right.
Welcome to Two Noobs F1.
Yep. Hello, Tony. How's things?
All good.
How's the shit?
All good.
Have a look on the screens.
All good.
Does that look full? Yeah, it looks better, doesn't it?
Nickers when I.
Oh, this table needs a little bit.
Yes. Japanese Grand
Yeah.
Prix afterthoughts.
Yeah, and toast. Toast and afterthoughts. No.
What a race. Thrilling. The most thrilling race going if you're a Max fan.
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest, it was devoid of any action.
Yes.
I can only remember 3 overtakes.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot.
I think that there was disappointment. I should imagine Ferrari were pretty pissed off
Yeah.
because they were pretty rubbish.
Yeah, again, just another lackluster.
Yeah. I know the
again.
track is a bit awkward.
It's a track you can't really overtake on, and it showed. For me, it felt like Max was a backstop. He was the George Russell in this race.
Yeah.
The cork in the bottom. I think if Max wasn't there, the McLarens would have been 20, 30 seconds gone down the road.
For me, they didn't do enough.
Yeah. And then, like Max was saying, like in the interviews after, he's saying, like you've got to maximise every opportunity you can. And I think for me, we've discussed this times before.
Yeah.
You got to like be there to take all the points. He's 1 point away from championship. If Lando had lost that second place, Max would be leaving the championship again.
I think for me, although I did question Crofty saying about Piastri overtaking Lando, that might have been a better move because he was quicker. I think he was quicker, and at least he could put pressure on, Verstappen.
In the match, yeah.
We'd have had the laps. He had I think like lap 10 or so, 10 to go. I think it was something like that. And it was the way he was catching him up. Would have pushed Verstappen harder to maybe have made a mistake. You know what I mean? But they just didn't do it. So, yeah, I suppose for Lando, he didn't want to lose the points. At least, for him, it's like a little bit of damage limitation because it is a hard track to overtake.
Yeah.
And I think for him, it's like, well, yeah, I'm still ahead. It might be a point. It's ahead, and there's plenty of races that are probably going to suit McLaren.
Yeah, they will
Their
be.
pace.
They will be.
But it was lost yesterday in qualifying.
What a lap.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody,
Yeah.
all the videos I was watching
No one saw that coming.
would say, yeah, nobody saw it coming, and everyone was saying, like, this shows how Max is one of the best, like the Ayrton Senna style, Lewis Hamilton. Like, there's only so many people can pull that out of the bag.
Yeah, I think they're they're obviously starting to get to grips with the car as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's after China, there was nowhere in the horizon.
No.
So
That's why I was saying it felt like Max maybe was a little bit of a cork in the bottle in that.
but it's like, again though, they should know by history for Suzuka.
Yeah.
That
But you
it's
did.
hard to overtake.
The other thing as well is, we sort of briefly mentioned this just before, or maybe partway into the live stream, that maybe, is there going to now be discussion about that mini DRS?
Well, you can't tell, can you? Because of the fact that.
But that's the thing, because of what's happened, is that discussion going to come up? Is like, if people going to say, actually, because a lot of people will discuss Red Bull's downfall just after the asynchronized braking thing. And a lot of people, even though like it was said that they didn't have, no teams had it, it's still, even though that Red Bull lost that pace, it's still put down to they must have had that braking, and that's that's why. So it's the same, like but it did feel like maybe Max was just a bottleneck. Maybe I think we'll need a track where there's going to be overtaking.
Yeah, I think the thing for me was the difference is the gap between Red Bull and everyone else this time last year was massive.
Yeah.
Massive, no doubt about it. A second. Whereas this year, from the start, it's been a lot tighter. Although McLaren had the edge, it's not like a second. Do you know what I mean? So, and yeah, he was probably holding them up. But at the end of the day, you're going to get past him.
Yeah. 4 different winners.
And that's what we said last year.
4 different winners already.
We want to have that tighter championship, and it's tight.
So is it Lando, Lewis, Piastri, Max? 4 different winners, which is really, really good. And like I was saying, for me, as a Max fan, purely as a Max fan, for him to be 1 point off, I thought it's going to be a disaster season, and I expected Lando to be 30 odd points ahead now.
See, I didn't, because the only route for Red Bull is up. They can't. All that development, they can't go backwards.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, but I expected teams like Ferrari to really be on it, and I don't think they are. They're not on it at all.
They're not on the ball. No, yeah. It's like...
Just trying to find out.
And is Lewis going to start losing faith in that? You know?
Do you know what? I still think it's all about next year.
Yeah.
All about next year.
And is Max going to walk away? You know? Because it's looking like the Mercedes engine is going to be the engine for next year.
Apparently so, isn't it? That's going to be the one.
Yeah. So, but does Max then? Does he have a look at? Does he have a look at maybe going to Aston?
So that's where we're at the moment. So
we're 1 point in it.
1 point, and then you start getting a gap between Verstappen and Piastri.
Yeah.
And then it's quite tight after that.
I think it was only 1 point between George and Max last.
Yeah. I mean, it's literally just a one race can change it all.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Who would have thought that Albon, we on 18 points, 2 points away from Leclerc in a Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, Williams have been, done a really good job.
Yeah.
And you compare, Sainz is on 1 point to Albon
On 18.
with what, 4 races in?
Antonelli's done well, hasn't he?
He's good. I think.
Where's Hamilton?
Hamilton's 15 points. Obviously, with the
Disqualification,
disqualification, that would probably put him up. Well, they'd put him up.
Yeah, Kimi.
Yeah, but obviously those two will still be in the same position.
You know what, did he lose? 10 points or
sorry.
something?
It was about 10 points, was it?
Close to it. Or was that Charles Leclerc lost 10 points? There was next to each other on the road, so it could be around 10 points, close to 10 points. I think he lost. So he'd be on around 25-ish. But then Antonelli would have been, the other drivers would have dropped down in that list by a couple of points. So yeah, he's probably up around near Charles Leclerc and Kimi Antonelli.
What we saw was probably that's the best Mercedes could do.
Yeah.
Today.
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
Yeah. Where did they come? Because was it not Leclerc that came fourth? Sorry.
Leclerc came fourth.
Leclerc and then Russell and then Kimi.
Really? Come on.
Bahrain, showing Bahrain.
There we go. Maybe later.
That was last year. Oh, that was this year.
Yeah. So yeah, Leclerc came fourth.
Yeah. George, Kimi, Lewis.
Yeah, Antonelli.
Lewis looking at the back of his old car.
Do you know, it's weird, isn't it? It's weird. He must have been frustrated because I don't think that was the right strategy.
Yeah.
To put him on hard straight away.
I think they was hoping for a safety car, weren't they? If it hadn't rained, then I think strategies would have been different because of the sparks on the grass.
Yeah. Yeah, you can imagine it all around there. That's what they should do, start putting like obstacles in the way and stuff, like random topless women would run across the track.
Did you see the because Jack Doohan, he's going down the straight and then they don't brake, do they, when they go around the first bend? And he said he tried in the simulator to keep his DRS open when he went around the first bend and he ended up spinning off. And so there was all the memes coming out like of, the F1 game and people are doing like cartwheels and landing back on the track and carrying on. It was like, Jack Doohan's going to try this next.
So far, Antonelli is probably the best of the rookies.
Yeah.
But Isaac Hajar, I thought he was quite good.
Yeah, he's doing all right, Adja, I think. He's doing all right. Boring race, I think.
Yeah.
Quite a boring race. At the end, me as a Max fan, Clipper going a little bit as Norris started pushing, but I had this feeling that unless he had the outright pace and was going to be 3/10 behind Max, he wasn't going to take him, and he was going to have an almighty fight in that last corner. And because it's not a heavy braking zone corner.
So when you think about 53 laps and you're only just over a second ahead at the end of the race, that shows how tight it is.
Yeah. But I do believe Max was bottlenecking them. I think the two McLarens would have been at least 10 seconds down the road if Max wasn't there.
It's just weird how that sort of could happen. I mean, we were talking about the dirty air and stuff. Which are they talking about next year? That's going to be less of a problem?
Yeah, so it's active aero next year, isn't it? I think they're going to get rid of the DRS as well.
Which I think's wrong.
Well, with the active aero, they're supposed to be able to sort of... They're going to have the front flaps open as well, not just the back flap, but the front flaps open because it's active aero.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be the team that masters that the quickest, I think. It's going to be the ones that, run away with it. But, yeah, so...
Not a lot to really talk about.
Poor race. No safety cars.
Yeah, it's quite a clean thing.
Yeah, I mean, even the first run, the first corner, it was like surprising how no one actually touched anyone.
Yeah, not a lot to talk about, to be honest. Other than it just makes the championship closer, and is it going to put some questions? Is Red Bull going to end up going down the wrong corridor on upgrades? Remember what happened with Russell in Brazil, 21 or 22 or whatever it was, and they end up going down the wrong path because of that one win. We can't have that.
I think as much as I can't stand Red Bull, tactically they are probably the best team of the pits in the pit lane.
Yeah.
To get it right.
Yeah.
I know a lot of it is they've got nothing to lose. Not decision making, but they are, for me, probably Ferrari the worst.
I think a part of that also may come down to they're supporting one main driver for that championship. They've got two drivers, but they're supporting one driver for that championship, so it makes it easier on them, I think, not having to... imagine the nightmare that McLaren have got, managing two of the best drivers.
There, where they, do they, don't they? But kiss the constructors goodbye.
Oh, yeah, I think...
Actually.
I think Red Bull have already said...
61 points.
Yeah, I think Red Bull have already said they are not really fighting that.
Which is how many points have Verstappen's got?
Yeah, basically.
So, okay. Let's talk quickly about next race.
It's Bahrain. Hot race.
What time is that?
Yeah. The Red Bull's generally quite good in warm weather. So, we'll see. It's going to be at 12 o'clock because it's a night race. It goes from day to night, doesn't it? So it's going to be around 12. It might be even at 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
2 o'clock.
That'd be good. It might be more awake.
Yeah, I think, maybe we'll get more people on the live watching it. We've got to be a bit more active on the live, I think. But that's going to come over time. Because we're watching the race, aren't we?
It's difficult.
We can only watch along and react as we react.
Yeah, exactly. It's difficult to try and fill in the blanks. You know what I mean? When you're not accustomed to it.
Yeah.
That's basically, talking for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Literally, you know what I mean?
I mean, you're trying to watch a race, which is something we love. It's like trying to watch a film and describe it while you're watching it. Having the tracker there and just watching our reactions is what we've done this channel for, and then doing these after to talk about our thoughts on it.
I think at the moment, in my opinion, we'll give it some time, but I quite like this format.
Yeah.
I think I prefer this format than that.
Lunch.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Having lunch while we talk.
Yeah. So that's for me. I prefer this than that.
Yeah, I think that's just for people to tune in.
So
some people might not have the Sky Sports or whatever, and they just want to watch reactions, or they want to just have a tracker or something.
I think we should we should call it now.
Yeah.
I think there's not much to say. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and we'll speak to you next week.
Yeah. Let us know your thoughts in the comments, guys. Anything you want to put in there?
Literally,
your thoughts.
Peace.
Have a good one, guys.
Peace out.
Take care.
Right, that's it. That's better, isn't it?
Yeah.